Good morning. Hope you're all having a great day today. My name is Dr. Brian Mast. I'm Associate Provost here for Academic Support Services. And Dr. Roberts and I are going to talk to you a little bit about community expectations. Now, you may be wondering, what really is this session about, community expectations? I want to talk to you a little bit about academic expectations, and Dr. Roberts is going to talk to you a little bit about kind of overall holistic expectations here at Lipscomb. But I want to welcome you to the academic community. You are about to be a part. Classes haven't started yet, so you're not officially there yet. But welcome to the academic community here at Lipscomb. You're a part of a very, very prestigious institution. You won't go anywhere now where you wear something that says Lipscomb University, and someone will say, "Oh, I know Lipscomb. I attended Lipscomb. My grandparents attended Lipscomb," or other family members, or I went to basketball camp at Lipscomb. Someone is always going to know Lipscomb University. And that's a part of, one of the reasons is because the academics here at Lipscomb University are very, very well known. We have nationally ranked colleges here on this campus that you'll step into Monday when you start classes. When I say nationally ranked, some of our colleges are ranked #1 in the country in their specific college. So you're joining that community. You have faculty members that are about to teach you that have attended very, very prestigious institutions. Institutions like Notre Dame, Harvard, Duke, and the list goes on. Full of knowledge and information, ready to deliver that to you. And they anticipate you showing up to class eager to accept that information and knowledge from them. Now, you'll hear President Lowry speak and say, "You are not their equal." And remember that. That's very important. You are not their equal. You do not hold those degrees that they hold. That's what you're working towards. Well, what we want you to do immediately is build those relationships with these faculty members. We want you to get in those classes and not just spend 50 minutes or 75 minutes on academics per day. We want you to engage in conversation, critical thinking, deep dives into the content outside of the classroom. We want you to have those deep positive relationships with each one of your faculty members. These faculty members that you're going to meet day one, some of them will be on your resume. They will serve as references when you start doing internships, when you start applying for jobs here in a few years. They are going to be those go-to individuals for you, and we want you to build that immediately day one because they want to be there for you in order to do that. Now, obviously, we have a lot of basic expectations here when it comes to academics. The basic expectation being, yeah, we expect you to go to class. We expect you to be in class when class is in session. That's a given. Your parents are spending, or you are spending, a lot of money to be here. And to spend all day in your dorm room playing Fortnite as opposed to going to class makes no sense. How many Fortnite players do I have out there? Every hand should be raised in this alumni auditorium right now because everybody plays it. But go to class. That's very, very important. Read your textbooks, right? Read your textbooks. You are purchasing your textbooks for a reason. Read them. Don't sit down and read your textbook like it's a novel. Learn how to read academically. Chunk your reading because it's a lot of information that you need to absorb. Study outside of class. You should be spending about 2 hours for every 1 hour that you are in class studying, preparing, learning. 2 hours for every one. That's important. So those are some of the basic expectations. But really I want to talk about 3 expectations that we as Lipscomb University individuals hope that you will think about as you enter. The first one is grit. Grit, determination, perseverance. Lipscomb is going to be challenging. It's going to be a challenge. You may have been a 4.0 student in high school. Congratulations. And I'm very proud of that accomplishment. But Lipscomb is going to push you even beyond what you've ever thought that you would be able to do in school. You must have grit and determination and perseverance to push forward. When the time gets tough, what are you going to do? How are you going to handle that situation when it gets tough in a class? Because it will get tough. We expect that you will interact with your faculty, with your professor, ask questions, engage in conversation. I'm just not sure of this concept and what this really means and what you're trying to get from us out of this specific question. Dig deep. Use that grit and determination and perseverance to push forward and press on. The second one is we expect impeccable academic integrity, okay? Impeccable academic integrity. Part of that is procrastination. If you are a procrastinator, you need to start forming habits immediately that keeps you from procrastinating. We find often in higher education, as well as K-12 education, when a student procrastinates, that's when a student tends to say, you know what, I've got to get this done. I just need to copy and paste this document into my project. And before you know it, a professor has sniffed out that plagiarism or that opportunity that you have used to not be an impeccable integrity student, and you'll end up in some violations here at the university. Stay on top of your assignments. Know what those assignments are. Get that syllabus out day one. Plan your schedule out. So impeccable integrity. Make good decisions academically throughout your time here. The third thing, and the final thing, is attitude. Attitude. There's a book out. It's called What Smart Students Know, and it's by Mr. Robinson. And he says how successful you are in school, how successful you are in higher education is all about attitude. It's all about attitude, and it's not about, let me get this right here. How successful you are is about your attitude and not your ability or self-worth. So go back to that 4.0. It's about how you set those habits, how you start working towards the end immediately, forming those positive relationships with those faculty members. It's attitude. Go into those classes with that positive attitude, thinking, you know what, I've got this. I can move this to an A, B. I can be successful, and I can work towards that graduation in 4 or 5 years. Because ultimately, that's what it's about. You are here to earn a degree. You are here to move forward, build those relationships. This becomes your community forever. And one day move out into society doing great things with a Lipscomb degree and wearing that name, Lipscomb University, forever on your resume, in your interviews. That's who you want to be here at Lipscomb University. So I challenge you to always do your best, work hard, and pray often. There are going to be times, those challenging times, where sometimes you're just going to have to pray. Just pray. Seek out those individuals that are positive. Seek out those individuals that are academically like you, that are attending class. Stay in that positive community. Find those individuals that will walk with you daily, seeking Him. He will walk through this experience with you daily, and it'll be a wonderful, wonderful experience. So again, welcome to the academic community. This is not the official welcome to the academic community. That will happen during Initium, and that's bookended by one day graduation when you finish as a group. But we want to welcome you. We're glad that you're a part of this experience with us, and we look forward to great things throughout the next 4 or 5 years. I'm going to bring out Dr. Roberts now, and he's going to talk to you about kind of campus-wide expectations. So thank you very much.
Everybody in this room has already heard me talk about community expectations. And we got in a room, some of you yesterday, and sometimes for some of you in July, and some in June, and we talked about sex, and we talked about drugs, and we talked about booze, and we talked about stealing stuff. And first off, I love talking about those four things. I really, really do. But this is not that same discussion. We do have another set of expectations that are aside from the stuff that we don't want you to do and are focused on the stuff that we do want you to do. And we want to go over what that might look like. Now, I want to confess to you at this point that I know how much material you have been receiving. I know how much has come from the stage and come from small groups, and I was here late last night and I saw how much your Quest team leaders have been giving you off-script material, and there's gold there too, but the point is, I bet I've heard the phrase drinking from a fire hose like 1,000 times already this week. And if that's your story, if you seem a little bit disoriented and overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that's coming at you so far, then I want to let you know you are in good company. There's this scene in the Bible where those followers of Jesus that had been paying close attention to what he was saying and doing come up to him, and they say, we heard about all these miracles, and we understand all these parables, and there's teachings and these sermons, and you've been taking us on the coolest field trips. We're going to mountains, we're going to valleys, and we're going to rivers, we're going to gardens. He said, but can you just give us the short version? Can you just sum it all up for us? And he does. And he says, here's the deal, guys. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. That's what it's all about. And I want you at this moment, at the dawn of your college career, to understand that you too have those four dimensions that Jesus talked about over 2,000 years ago, that you too have a soul and a heart and a mind and strength. Now, Dr. Mast has already talked to you a little bit about your mind, but the reality is, we believe that God gifted you with an intellect, and that when you learn new things, when you test what he has given you, when you achieve things and take difficult courses and invest in relationships with academic mentors, we believe that is God-honoring use of your mind. What you do well intellectually is worship. And so our classrooms are designed to do that, to help you reflect God's glory by giving back to him what he has already given you. Let's talk about some of those other dimensions. First off, let's talk about strength. We want this college experience of yours to be something that is not solely devoted to a rigorous academic program, but also about the raw skills you've got that are not intellectual. We want you to get involved with campus recreation, with intramurals. We want you to go on mission trips. Any of those things you can think about that will make you exhausted, we want you to take captive and be intentional about developing. So we're going to put a whole lot of opportunities in front of you. Everything from the kickball game that 180 people participated in on Monday in incredibly hot weather, everything to those moments of moving into high-rise and Elam as some of you let your parents drag all of those big heavy boxes up those stairs. Some of you I saw doing a great job letting mom and dad take a breather for a minute. But anything on this campus that you can do to utterly exhaust yourself to build strength, not just physically, although there's definitely components of physical health, but understanding who you are in the sense of saying, I want to do something that I'm not sure I can do perfectly. Something that seems interesting to me, an experience that I want to have, but that I know will push me. We believe that is an essential part of your college experience, and we have an expectation that you will walk out your freshman year seeking them out and being ready to throw your hand up and be bold enough to share, say, I want to sign up for that, and we're going to partner you with people who are going to do it well and help take away all of the uncertainty in that. We've got over 100 clubs and organizations. If there is something that you are passionate about from high school, from your family, from anything that you have brought here to campus, we want to help give you a platform for you to help bring other people into that. And so we expect your work, your strength, to be something that glorifies God. Our Greek life program is absolutely amazing. You'll get a chance to see a lot of Greek life activity starting just next week, and then next January, you'll have an opportunity to be invited into that program if you'd like, but it is exhausting. When you sign up for things like Sing-A-Rama and Stomp Fest and some of the other amazing opportunities that happen on this stage, you're not just signing up for some really cool performances in front of parents and in front of this Lipscomb community, but you get to sign up for a lot of late nights learning how to dance. And I haven't done it yet. Yeah. We want you, we expect you to take ownership over what God has given you and to press yourself to become stronger. We also want you to develop your heart. We believe that it's not just about your muscles and it's not just about expending work, it's also about stewarding your emotions, and we expect you to do that well. We want you to develop emotionally and to mature emotionally in a way where you are a strong individual that other people can lean on for advice and for guidance and that has influence in the situations that God places you. We're going to do this in a couple different ways. First, we're going to look at our Career Development Center. We believe God has ordained a set of passions and aptitudes inside you where there's a role for you in this world that only you can fill, and we believe that there's a professional dimension to that, that you deserve a career that fulfills you and uses your giftedness hand in hand. And there's a heart dimension to that. We also believe that we as a campus reflect God's glory the more diverse we become. And so we have an incredible office dedicated to intercultural development and understanding that all of us are image bearers of Christ himself. And that when we fully appreciate all of God's creation, then we are better equipped for our heart to reflect God's heart. Internships, event hosting, SGA sponsorships, we want you to follow your passions, and we want you to have this place reflect your fingerprints as your emotions help guide the decisions that you make. Finally, let's talk about your soul. We expect you to have great careers. I can't wait to read the papers and the research that you will produce for the Student Scholars Symposium that is held every April. I can't wait to hear about the brand new internships that you helped chart. I can't wait to see how you are pioneers and trailblazers in terms of the graduate schools that you get. I got yesterday, this was a first for me, yesterday I got an email from the organization in Oxford, England that runs the Rhodes Scholars Program, saying that I've got to write some letters of recommendation for some of our students. I haven't seen that in a long time. We've had some amazing Fulbright scholars. Rhodes Scholars is the absolute most incredible academic postgraduate fellowship in the planet. And you're going to be the trailblazers that are going to help increase our numbers and representation. That what you're going to do for your careers are going to be absolutely incredible. And hear me carefully when I say this. You're even bigger than that. We believe that you have a soul, and that somehow through the mystery of Jesus Christ, as what Paul calls it in Ephesians, that what you do here on this earth can have eternal consequences. This world can better reflect God's goodness and our humanity and love and patience because of the work of the Holy Spirit in you. And so we expect that you will spend a lot of time during this college experience maturing your soul. I do want to talk about a couple of the ways that we make sure you have opportunities to do that. Our campus ministry team is located in the lower level of the Bennett Campus Center. I'm so pleased to have heard so much conversations already this morning about our campus ministry team. We have 3 full-time ministers whose job is to walk out life struggles as they appear on this campus with our students. Steve Davidson, Cyrus, and Nicole Eaton love the way that God leads them into your life, and they cannot wait to make your acquaintance and to help those relationships grow. But ministry is something that we believe is critical to the college experience. We have an amazing chapel program as well. Now, I'm sure you've heard by now the expectations that you are to receive 25 chapel credits per semester. Yesterday, I got to hear our Quest team members talk to your parents, and they had this really great, wonderful question and answer session, and there's several parent questions about telling me about how hard it is to get the chapel credits, and the Quest team totally messed you guys up. The Quest team said it's not that hard. They said it's really, really easy. As long as you're getting 2 a week, you're going to have way more chapel credits than you ever need by the end of the semester. The Quest team that you've trusted for other advice has absolutely ratted you out, and there's no excuse from our vantage point and also now your parents' vantage point for you to come short on those chapel credits. We're going to have over 100 chapel credit opportunities this semester. I hope you take advantage of every single one of them that fits in your schedule, but specifically, we want to make sure that you're in Allen Arena on Tuesdays. Now, the first couple weeks of school, we do offer a little bit of a confusing schedule, so check your Lipscomb app, check your emails. But once the traditional semester schedule kicks in 2 weeks, every single Tuesday, the entire campus shuts down, all of our classes are put on hold, and we all meet together for community moments in Allen Arena, where we fly in some of the most amazing speakers and best-selling authors in this world, and they have a special message for our campus. We cannot wait to watch your worship fill that building as well. And then on Thursdays, we have something that's a lot more conversational and a lot more interactive, and we're going to ask you to not just focus on a large communal message, but to figure out the way you're wired a little bit, and to be discerning about a small group chapel that's going to feed into your specific circumstance in life. And every week, we're going to have between 8 and 18 of those, so there are lots and lots of options. But we want you to also be planning events that feed your soul and the souls of your friends. You're going to see events this year where upperclassmen have noticed something in the world that's happening that has a bearing on this campus. And they're going to host prayer gatherings. And we're going to have moments where someone is going to be in a hospital or preparing for surgery, and hundreds of Lipscomb students are going to gather in ways to lift them up in prayer and help them feel remembered. And I cannot tell you how amazing it is to see peers leading peers. We're going to put a lot of effort and we're going to put a lot of sophistication into our design of some of the chapel programs and speakers that we bring in, but that is not to crowd out what God has placed on your heart, because there's a place for that here at Lipscomb, and we expect you to answer that call when the Holy Spirit whispers something into your soul. Now, this year is going to be Lipscomb's best year ever. This is a special year. There's going to be a set of several major announcements as this year unfolds. And your class is going to be the one that's going to get to see those announcements and those new initiatives go from beginning to end. You have an incredible vantage point. I hope that you will think back to all the decisions that have led you here. Many of you have graduated early. Many of you have taken a gap year. Many of you have come in and out of different types of college environments. But all of that has led you here for this specific time. And I want you to know, we think it's on purpose. Every single morning when I get to Lipscomb, the first thing I do is pray 3 specific prayers over our student body in the quiet of my office. I'd like to pray the last one with you now. God, may these Lipscomb students know that they go nowhere by accident. Everywhere they go is a place you have put them, and that you are sending them today. May they know that the Holy Spirit that indwells in them has something He wants to accomplish through them where they are today. May they believe this and go in your grace and your power. Amen. We have a break now. In just a few minutes, we're going to gather right back here, and you're going to hear from our intercultural development team about some really, really exciting new ways that this campus is growing. So you have a short break, and at 10:35, let's get right back here and ready for the next session. Thank you so much.